Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this evening's agenda, we have Nicole Talbert, the Recreation Director for Parks and Recreation, on the agenda for 6 o'clock, and then we will be reviewing budgets at 6:30. And then we'll be working on some of our office budgets. So, Nicole,
All right, how are you guys doing?
we're doing great.
Great. So, I've been talking with and working with Bordertown Baseball the last couple of months since I took over. We're looking into, having lights installed on the lower and upper fields down at the Memorial Field there. And so they've put together a couple of options for us. There's some items that are donated, some things that are going to cost us money, and we just kind of wanted to come and talk with you guys about it and get the conversation going and figuring out if and how we can accomplish this. And I have, Jared is here, he helped with the installation of the batting cage, and his company donated money last year to have that all done, and they donated the poles. And so he's also helping again with the lighting, and he's gotten a lot of the information that we needed for that, so.
Your last name, Jerry?
Cormier?
Cormier?
So I don't know if you guys have all the information in front of you?
Well, I don't have it in front of me. I did read it. Joanne did forward it to us,
Okay,
so.
Are you looking to put this as a warrant article? Or were you thinking of trying to put this as part of a budget?
well, Sean, what was your, because you had questions about,
Well, what would be more plausible? And then, at one point, we had spoken with you, Mr. Lady, about, and you had brought up a electrical upgrades fund.
No, but just,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, just seeing like what the total dollars like that we'd be looking for through either warrant article or as a part of our budget, and then how that would work, because we don't have any experience in doing that aspect, so we're here looking for guidance from you guys.
My first question when I saw the paperwork on it is, it's a very expensive proposition. And I'm not involved with the rec other than if I drive by and I see a game going on or whatnot. But there's a lot of times I'm down driving by and there is no activity going on the fields. And my concern as a taxpayer would be, well, are we going and paying for something that we could really do during other hours? And then in your report, you had indicated that you could do tournaments or whatever.
yeah.
Has anyone done a cost-benefit analysis to say, hey, if it costs us this and we did X amount of tournaments a year, we'd probably pay it back in X amount of years? I think something like that is probably what they're gonna be, I think most people would look at to say, well, you know, can we recoup it? Be an easy sell. Just to expound what I was mentioning to you previously was, there's a trust fund from when the town of New Ipswich owned its own electric company. When they sold that to PSNH at the time, that money went into that trust fund. So that money sits there, and when you talk about lighting, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, you got a trust fund from electric, kind of the two, but it would be up to, that would have to definitely be a warrant article, because any expenditures out of that fund would require the voters.
You know what the fund, how much money is in that fund? I mean, is that?
I was starting to try and look that up, but I was trying to listen at the same time, so if you keep going, I'll try and.
And with that, is it one of those things where, are we looking at, there's a demand to have fields available in this area for tournaments? So we're looking to see if we can fill that? Or are we putting lights out there and then hoping that there's a demand for tournaments in our area?
No, we feel that there's definitely a demand. We also think that, having the lights could also enable us to do more in the adult rec area, where we could have like evening softball games or things like that, that, I mean, a lot of towns have, but, you know, when people are talking about joining a softball league, it's usually in the evening when people are getting out of work or, you know, whatever it may be, they can't come down in the middle of the afternoon. It's usually on weeknights or something like that, so we were thinking that could help us expand or grow that aspect of the rec department where we don't have much of anything going on. As far as the demand goes for like Little League and softball,
I can speak to that. I mean, we have, between Little League and softball, there's usually between 15 to 20 teams every year. This past year, 18. You have the Babe Ruth field, which isn't really a Little League field. We do use it for the littler kids. You have upper and lower, and we have Greenville. But by adding lights to a field, it's like, it's in the place of building another field, really. Because now you can run practices later, you can run games later. It also will make a big difference for soccer. Right now, they're running up against darkness once they get into mid-October, late October. Now, they have the lights on, you can now have soccer practices later. It would be a benefit for everybody. And also for, you could have nighttime events.
I look at the two different pieces of information you've given us here, and the first thing, I get sticker shock, I have to be honest, because the lowest dollar value is $147,000, and the higher dollar value is $185,000.
right,
So I think David's question of cost analysis is a very good one, because this is quite an expenditure of money to light up them fields, so it's something that needs to be looked into quite extensively, I'd say.
so if we weren't making it like a taxpayer, situation, and we wanted to do the fundraising to make it happen, would that make a difference as far as like having that cost analysis?
You wouldn't need one because the tax base,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the only piece you'd have to know there is what is the energy efficiency of the lights if we run them for X number of hours, estimated kilowatt, because that, people are at least gonna know, it's like, well, yeah, now we just, you know, we had 0 lighting, now we have twice as much, you know, or, you know, 100% more of nothing. But, so I think that would be the only idea of knowing, okay, if we run them for this amount of hours, at least an estimate on what the cost might be to that effect.
Do you think if that were the case, though, that the operation of those lights would come out of the revenue generated by the activities down there?
Good question, I would say.
Yeah,
that
it
would
should
the-
be.
Yeah, the way to go.
Yeah, no, well, baseball would be more than, if this ended up coming to fruition, we'd be more than happy to help with the electricity costs during baseball season.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Jeremy Michael was talking about, they're talking about LED lighting, which is very inexpensive
Right.
to run.
Yeah, for those units that were discussed, it's $4 an hour operating. So cost savings is pretty large.
Now, based on the numbers, the pricing that's come through, have photometrics been done to know what we're going to need and that it's gonna be adequate?
Correct. It's part of the package that was handed in. There's these schematics of those.
Touched on it, for the second page.
And I guess my only other question is, and this would,
Shoot.
turn it to the gentleman who's been on the board much longer. Is there anything, because I know other towns have had issues with lighting, and how the neighbors react to that?
Good point.
There's always a light pollution aspect of things. I'm gonna believe they shed downward, correct? That's the,
And that's also a large benefit for LEDs, you can actually program them, you can zero the range in, so it's focus controlled light.
Yeah, I think you only have really one house down there that, well, I guess there's the ones across the street on Temple.
Well, they're also, the basketball
The
lights are on.
basketball
you know,
lights are
that's
on down there.
It's not
till
a-
10 o'clock.
Adding lights in there is not a new thing, I mean, there's lights down there, but it would be a little bit, you get 2 games going on at nighttime, and yeah, I mean, it would. And I'm sure there wouldn't be games going down there at 11 o'clock at night either, I mean, it's,
Well, we
I
don't
guess
know
you
about
bring
that.
up-
you know.
you bring up a valid point. At
Yeah,
what time the lights shut off?
It's right till 1 hour.
Would it be probably 10 o'clock, because it seems to be the standard, like even when we have our movie nights, we have to be off the field by 10.
Noise ordinance is 10 o'clock, I believe,
Yeah.
correct? Am I correct, David? Noise ordinance is 10 or 11?
I think it's 10.
I think it's even earlier than
Or is
that.
it?
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm good with 10.
yeah.
I like 10. And then as far as some of the other information that you guys, received there, if what, like the True Green and stuff, I don't know if you guys wanna talk about that or if you wanna keep going with the lighting.
Is there anything else you wanna discuss on the lighting before we go to True Green? Like our
Okay.
preference between
Yeah.
wood and steel
Yes.
poles?
Yeah, that's.
I would not like to see wood.
Okay,
I mean, again, personally, to me, several years ago, we tried to improve the appearance of the park. We did a lot of improvements down there, and the voters funded it all. And I think sticking on that track would be the preferable way of doing it.
okay.
No, I agree with that.
You guys have anything to add or questions?
I'll take a look at that.
We're trying to, we need to know how much we need to raise and, just that path warrant article or budget.
Yeah.
I think,
I think-
I tried to look up to see if I had how much was in that, like trust fund, which I don't have on here. But if you went with fundraising, then it wouldn't be a warrant article. The only time you need the warrant articles if you want the voters to pay for it, or you want to fund it via the, trust fund.
Now, is the trust fund, what kind of lighting, what kind of things can the trust fund pay for?
Right now, it's nothing. The interest from that fund gets transferred to the general fund each year. But right now, it just sits there, and that's why several years ago, the same discussion came up about putting lighting down there. It didn't go anywhere, but that's when we spoke about using the revenue that's in that fund. So in other words, that fund, if the voters approved it, that fund, depending on how much money's in there, would ultimately just disappear.
So it couldn't hurt anything to try and do it as a warrant article though, right? I mean, you could try.
Other than a no,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
I mean, is that
Can we
something?
put it in with the paving article?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Put one paving one, the lights, and then another
Yeah.
paving one. You'd be like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, hey, I live on Page Hill Road, so that's why. Great.
Mr. Sommerall?
Yeah, I have a question on you were saying that if it was fundraised, that there wouldn't be any action by the town, but wouldn't that be a vote required by the selectmen to offer?
Yes,
Accept the
yes,
fact that somebody's gonna donate something and,
yes.
you have some kind of.
You have to have a public hearing because it would exceed $5,000 and, but yes, the board would approve it. I think what we were discussing was funding of the project.
Right, as long as it's clear. I
Yeah.
mean,
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's speak about, lawn maintenance.
Okay,
Uh,
so these estimates, Bordertown obtained to,
mhm.
have the fields treated on lower and upper fields, the baseball field and the softball field. This isn't something that would be part of like the town budget or anything like that. This was, more of like an informational, you know, Bordertown and the rec department would like to go ahead with these things, and it would come out of the rec department budget, and we were gonna share the cost with the, not the budget, but our funds that, from our programs. And we would share the cost with Bordertown. And so it's more of like a, just letting you know that we're having this done, and, I'm not sure what else.
Well, let's discuss that
Okay.
first moment or two. First of all, before I get on to that subject, we had, yeah, 4 of them here.
Yes.
In summary, what are we looking at?
Can you explain it?
Yeah, so the first one for the 165412
Yep,
would be primarily aeration and fertilization, and then overseeding for this year on the lower field and the upper field.
not the field in the back.
No, that's
Okay.
what the 218587 would be, just the field up and in the back.
And 218587 would be all 3 fields?
No,
Oh.
that's just that,
Just the back.
just the back, yep. And I'm not sure if they included that general open area, like over where the snack shack and the playground and the volleyball court are or not.
I think that included, I think it was 78,000 square feet.
Okay.
Okay.
If you walk the field, there's definitely a weed problem, a lot of broadleaf weeds there, and this would help strengthen the grass. You know, we think it's gonna help also with our water problem sometimes, because there'll be healthier grass to absorb, use the water when it rains.
Keep going.
It's not gonna, you know, make a difference after pouring rainstorm, but it should help.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the reason I'm kind of grinning here is we had a gentleman from the New Hampshire DES in here the other evening before the planning board explaining how lawn fertilization is what's contributing to problems with our brooks and streams, and we have Furnace Brook right adjacent to this area, so just something to keep in mind because that was a problem area. The state gave us a grant several years ago to be monitoring that. The town did some corrective work to alleviate point source pollution, so just keep it in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's the 362840
Yeah,
is to, basically kill the weeds and do all the aeration in the fall again for next year. So that's like the maintenance program for next year, for that big area.
So that's open to close on those 2 fields for next year,
Yep,
from spring all the way through the fall.
correct, right, Jared?
Correct.
So then that would leave the 2871.97, which I'll presume is next year for the two lower fields.
Nope, so that one, also says ball fields, so I'm not sure which one's which.
No, that's correct for 2018. I think it was 28.
On the upper and lower, that was
Yeah.
my fault.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, and the
alright,
manager amount
I think it was like 3,000 something.
with that bigger section.
So you're looking at roughly just under $7,000 to maintain that for a year.
I think because of the fact it's been neglected for so long, that's, you won't necessarily have fall aeration and later aeration, but you won't have overseeding every single year once the grass gets, you get rid of the weeds and get stronger. So that's why it's gonna take a little more.
I don't see any overseeding. Is that in
Yeah.
here somewhere?
Yeah, and if you look at the fall aeration and seeding.
Oh, not next year. You're
Yeah.
talking the fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
this year and next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, the next year one also says fall aeration and seeding, but it doesn't specifically say overseed. It's, 5 lines up from the bottom.
For 2018, lower and upper, down at the bottom is all non-selective weed control and prevention treatment for subsurface grub activity, fall fertilizer, broadleaf weed control, early fall fertilizer.
You don't have the line on here?
No.
But things after vegetation control going up, it should say fall aeration and seeding, and then lime application, grub control,
Oh, nothing about lime?
no?
Nope. Am I looking?
Right,
Are you looking at over here?
Did you give me 4 and there were 5?
We don't have that on our sheets.
No.
Coloration.
Okay, that's for the, okay. Where is it? Okay, off to the side, yeah, off to the side, I'm sorry. Thank you, Joanne.
And we weren't looking to, we're not gonna, take on that cost, like as the rec department, the baseball was just looking for help to do it since we all share the fields. So we're seeing what we could do to help them out, for that.
Now, forgive me for not knowing this, but Border Town is now being run through the town, or is it still a separate outside organization?
baseball is its own separate organization, but we did take on Border Town softball. So
Okay.
the rec department has softball.
Okay. Where I was going earlier regarding the, use of the revolving fund account. Let me back up, because the conversation we were having earlier is the revolving account is not supposed to be used as a slush fund. Okay, we've got this money, we can spend it. But if you're bringing in fees for a certain activity and there are things that needs, i.e. a nice lawn, then you can use that. But I'm thinking somehow you're gonna need to track at least to say, okay, for soccer, we're gonna, because they have, and I'm just arbitrarily picking this, 25,000 square feet of grass that they use, we're gonna use X amount. And same thing with the softball, and then at least proportionally let Bordertown baseball know what they would need to contribute, I think would be the easiest way to track that. My last question, and I had asked Joanne earlier, I believe in your 2017 budget, we had included where that funding is, but we can check through the notes, although it would never pay for type of thing that you've got here, but at least you've got something there, yeah.
And I know, I wasn't involved in it last year, but I know in years prior, we did have, because she would give us a sheet that told us how much fertilizer cost, because we were always trying to get her to buy it with the funds that she still had available, instead of putting it back into the budget again the following year, when, if it wasn't gonna go bad, let's buy it now and use it or store it. But I don't, like I said, I wasn't involved in it last year, so I don't know what she had particularly in there. And that's the first year that y'all saw her doing the True Green, so.
Yeah.
And if this is gonna be something that the town participates in paying for, I would ask that you get additional quotes for it. If it was something that Board of Town says, hey, we're gonna pay for it, that's fine. But if the town is funding a portion of it, I think we should see other quotes for it.
Okay.
Because it could be a big ticket item eventually.
Well, with fertilizer comes more lawn maintenance, so the cost of mowing that place is gonna go up if you fertilize it, because the grass is gonna grow. So there's an added expense, and my bigger concern is one that David raised earlier about, water runoff. It being where it is, that's a major concern with Furnace Brook. And, it is a floodplain, or it was years ago, until they built a dam up off of Fair Road, but, so there's a lot of water in there. It's something we need to consider.
I would just recommend that you speak with whomever's quoting you, because most of these companies are very aware of it and have processes to minimize impact.
Okay.
But if you don't start the dialogue,
Yeah,
it may not happen, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Sure?
One last thing to discuss.
The lower field dugout renovations. So they, Board of Town would like to, update or upgrade other dugout to match what they added on to the dugout last year or this year or whatever that.
Yeah, about a year ago. And we don't wanna add another whole building, we just
No.
wanna replace the existing roof to match the roof and this type of siding on, as it's on the other one.
Perfect.
Yeah, and they're just waiting for all the-
Same height, you're not going any higher with her.
A lot lower, right?
No, it's probably, it should be the same height, inch or two difference maybe,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna see 8 feet difference or
Yeah.
anything,
right.
Okay.
you know? It just depends on what if we can use the existing stuff that's there, or we have to bring new supports in, or whatever. Yeah, it should be pretty much the same.
Trying to think, what is above the CMU for cladding on those dugouts now? Is it metal? It's what?
T111.
T111,
Yeah.
okay. So that would go to a board and batten, I think is what you
Yeah, we use the
used?
same stuff we use
Yeah.
for the other building.
And the roof on there now is metal
Metal, so we go to shingle.
shingles.
And we're also gonna add a, gutter on the other building as well.
And divert the water where?
It'll be into the parking lot.
Yeah, let's take a look at that before that's done.
What are your concerns?
Icing up the lot in one spot and somebody coming in and,
Now, we're looking to put the gutter on the front or the back?
The
I'm
back,
sorry,
where,
the
yeah,
back, it
where the
pitches
garage
down.
door is.
yeah.
Right now, we're getting, it's coming down and it's digging, just like at your house,
Yeah. Since you sound very familiar with that area, is that back corner in a gravel area or is it paved? Where the
Probably
downspout
paved.
would be, let's say?
probably it would be on the pavement, probably. We're thinking, would also at some point like to, is get rid of the dirt, that's, finish that whole area too. We haven't really discussed that yet with our group, but we wanna, cause there's some dirt in front of the garage door, we'd like to make that all
Mhm.
dirt. And then go pave it at some point too.
I'm just thinking if there was a way that the downspout could be located in the, and again, I don't know what that layout is, but located in an area where it currently is dirt that we could dig down and just put in a drywall and put the downspout right into that.
It's possible only off, when you face the building on the left-hand side, it's a pathway though, but you could probably do something right there, I would think.
Yeah. Just
No,
something to
it's actually not-
consider.
it's-
Yeah.
You're right, though, right in the wintertime, you'd be pushing a lot of water into that parking lot.
Yeah,
I mean, when it's snow covered, it's not as big a deal, but there's a lot of times when it's not.
yeah. And when you collect it all in one point and discharge, it's different when it just,
Yeah, it floats on the
yeah,
back of
yeah.
it.
So just, I think we're open to it, just
Yeah.
we'd like to be cognizant of what's going.
Okay. We're getting we're getting someone's donating the gutter as well.
Oh,
so.
good. Good job.
So if we wanted to make the lighting situation a warrant article, how do I go about doing that?
You would draft a warrant article,
Okay,
present it to the board,
okay,
and then we would, if we agreed, we'll end up going on the ballot.
okay. Sounds simple enough.
It is, very, very simple.
That's the simplest part, isn't it?
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Get it on the ballot, yeah.
Okay.
All set?
I think so.
Perfect timing?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You guys doing a good job.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks for keeping us in the loop.
You're welcome.
Those are just our small ones.
Sure. Library, I mean. Good evening, Brian. Mi- Miss Sonia, you wanna jump in before?
No. Somebody's dropping their mail.
That must be Brian's paycheck.
Oh, it is my, it's not my paycheck, so it's my bill. Thank you, it's my bill.
Did we have something for library?
Tried to get that, did you get my message?
No.
Oh, yes, I got some, yes.
We need to discuss that.
I think that's Michelle.
I think we're Nicole printing the, letter.
Thank you.
We also have our letter, but I forgot to print it, so we're.
Oh,
working
so
on that.
I gotta sign these and give them back to you then,
That one needs to be signed and given back to Joanne, the other one's a copy for you to keep,
right? Oh,
to make you aware of the discussions the board had on budget.
oh.
But that one will have to go back to Joanne.
Sorry, due a little miscommunication.
You have the real numbers? Oh. Just get a little humorous here, let's see. Who would like to present?
That would be me.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. So I'm Dawn Roney, and I'm the secretary of the Board of Trustees for the library. So we're here tonight to ask for a warrant article in the amount of $37,000 to support the library, which represents no increase over what was requested and approved last year.
I didn't hear any thumps, so I don't think anybody died out of that, Steve.
I'm just trying to read their letter.
Yeah.
Is Dan not gonna be able to?
Not gonna make it, no.
I have one simple, quick question. Where do you show on your income the value for the Stearns Burton?
We don't know what it'll be.
The value from the previous
July
year?
for 2017. Yeah, I don't see it on there.
Do you know where Carol categorizes the income from Stearns Burton? Typically, what happens is, Stearns Burton writes the check out directly to the vendor and not to the library.
Okay,
So I'm not sure that's actually classified in anything.
okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of a program by program basis.
And it, so you're not the middleman, it goes directly to, okay, thank you.
It's an in and out, and we don't even touch it.
Does the library, excuse me, does the library have any trust funds? that
Yes.
Has interest accruing on those accounts?
Mhm.
Do you have any idea what you have for monies in those?
We meet with the guy in a couple weeks, but it was,
It's well over 700,000, which is more than, yeah, which is more than it was last year. We met with them last year and we made some changes, I'm sure it was a little more aggressive word, yeah. So, it's definitely increased. And he informed us last year that, we could pull monies from it if we needed it.
You, what?
It's roughly $10,000 to $12,000 a year in interest.
to keep growing at the rate we're growing.
Cause, yeah, that was gonna be my question, cause that doesn't show in your income either. You state it in your letter, but you don't show it anywhere.
We try to keep it just for capital expenses.
Yeah, so our operating budget, we try not to touch that at all, unless
But
it's
we pull it if
absolutely
we need it.
necessary. Yeah.
So you have $700,000 and you're gaining $10,000 a year income off that 700?
Roughly. As of last year.
You're sitting on that 700,000 for what? You got a long-term plan?
We're gonna be pulling from it to replace our carpet, to replace the furnace, it'll help us paint the exterior of the building if we ever get somebody that will commit, spend 2 years and try to find somebody. So,
That's about 25, maybe 30,000, so, that's a lot of money.
I don't think so, it's more than that.
Well, I'm just,
Estimate for the paving was 17 to 18.
I'll go say, maybe it's 50,000. Still,
Yeah.
there's a lot of money there that that's not being utilized.
In order to be able to maintain, earning income off of that investment, we're being advised not to take more than $10,000 to $12,000 per year out of the fund. We haven't taken anything in the past few years, primarily because we're looking to do painting of the building. If we were to start taking everything out of there, then, there'd be no funds left for the library over the long-term plan.
I wouldn't suggest taking all the money out, no.
are you looking to accrue your, initial guy? Because I'm looking at a simple 3% return, which is conservative, would bring you in over 20 grand a year. When you're saying 10, that's why I'm just,
No, I'm saying we're advised not to take more than 10 to 12 out of the income that we've been earning in order to be able to maintain year-over-year increases in the portfolio.
Yeah, he's saying if you're making 3%, you'd be able to pull out more than that and still not be able to go backwards.
not touching your principal, you'd be conservatively $20,000. And based on your sheet here, your expenses are about 41, how about your income? Yeah, 40,312. Town contributes roughly 37, so it's a short dollar. I'm just, how you handle it's up to you. I'm just curious about, I think the library is a great asset to the town. And to have the relationship that we do with the library, whereas most towns, it's part of the town budget, it's a great thing. And I just want to make sure that you're covering your costs and at the same time, you're able to do the improvements that you need.
I wish we had more numbers. We tried to meet with him before and couldn't make it work,
Okay.
so we don't have this year's numbers.
I bring it up because we've asked other departments if they have trust fund monies. Michelle knows the cemetery being one of them, that they're using those monies to offset budget item numbers. So that's why I bring it up.
And similar to the cemetery, like we've been trying to use that money for years.
Yes,
It's
Yep.
almost the same situation with the library, just being that, there's not that many of us, we're all volunteering. And so
Mhm.
then, when we try to go out and get quotes for painting, carpeting, things like that, sometimes it doesn't get done, especially with painting.
oh,
It's a seasonal thing.
yes.
So, we have to put it off till next year if we don't hear from anyone soon. And so, it's taken quite a while to be able to actually access that. I think one year we did have the full permit, but it was an emergency situation, and I can't remember what it was. Was it something with the furnace?
It was a combination of furnace repairs and the payment from the town.
Right, it only came in half for some reason, this was a
Within
couple
one
years
fiscal
ago.
year, right.
So, that's really, that's why we have it, it's for emergencies and things like that. But, we would love to spend some of it, on painting and carpeting, and make the library look nice, bigger, do other things. Lots of long.
Nobody showed you your property line yet, did they?
Lots of long-term goals, so
But
hopefully someday.
how soon do you see that you're gonna need a new furnace?
It was advised 2 years ago that we replace it,
Okay.
but we've been gimping along and, keeping it maintained and keeping the filters cleaned and replaced and, so it's, I wanna say 28 to 30 years old, so.
Soon.
And yay now.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was cool.
The last time we had the furnace replaced, it's kind of a funny story. Bernier came in to service it. Anybody remember Bernier?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a long time ago. He came in to service it, and he came upstairs and he said to everyone who was in there, everybody out now. Because it had big holes in it, it was spewing out poisonous, nasty stuff. So
We promise
We're
it's not
hoping that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Sounds like that, Rachel.
Yeah.
I'm doing good now.
Earl, did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment. I didn't know, Jay, I didn't know where you were going with the trust funds that we have, et cetera. But, in my mind, that building was old when I was a kid. And, I always think, in my mind, I'm always thinking, hey, you know, we've outgrown it. The town has outgrown it. We need to find another site, another place, another building. And it should be, I mean, I wouldn't wanna see anybody depleting that money if we can roll it into something in the future.
And I understand all that, and I'm not asking you
And I'm
to,
sure you do, I just wanna clarify that.
I'm not asking you to spend it down and then come back to us and say, hey, we're out of money, can you support the warrant article? That wasn't my intent, I just wanted to know what was there for money, as we've asked other departments to do the same.
Jay would like a little help in your lifetime, right?
Would-
You'd like to have a little help from that in your lifetime, not reserve it for your great grandkids or something, right?
Make a motion that we do the warrant article for the $37,000 that was requested. Is there a second?
You have to vote on that, on warrant article?
Well,
They've asked.
could somehow put it in here.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for coming in and sharing.
Thank you.
Would you like a copy of my board of town? Hope my notes are okay.
I'd just like to make one comment. Earl saying that the town is growing. Well, sure, the town is growing, but so has internet, cell phones, computers, where people get bulk of their information from. So I don't think we're seeing a massive growth down there at the library.
That would've been a question for them, I'm not involved with it, I don't use it personally, I think it's an asset, but I don't.
Yeah, but I don't think we're ready for another site and a bigger library and all this stuff.
No.
Really sound.
I agree with you. I don't think we need another library, but what I would say they need is more parking, more parking. I mean, there's times where I see them
Sure,
double parked behind
Tandem.
one another,
Yeah,
just,
I mean, it
yeah.
certainly gets
especially
used,
when they're parking there probably for pizza too.
it certainly gets used, so
Yeah,
it's, David
it does.
points out when they tandem parking down there.
Yeah, and it's not for the pizza. Not that the pizza doesn't,
No, sometimes somebody might use it for that too.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
The very few that are there.
okay. Uh,
Can we do Ollie?
We can, I was just curious why you had auditor municipal bond, wouldn't that be under our,
Well, those are ones that I've done. The other ones you have to work on, but they can all go down below.
yeah, okay. And we,
Mr. Cotson,
yeah, we got 10 minutes.
message for you, Doug realizes he owes you 30, I'll get it to you.
Well, there's a second here.
$750.
Did you ever get
I'm not
resolved
sure.
with
I
the
know,
state,
I know,
the
it
state
says- I
issue
know.
on all that, property lines and all that? Did you ever get resolved on that?
No, because frankly, I was told that nothing getting that. So I'm waiting for something to happen because we're running into a situation pretty soon that we've been lucky. We only had really one burial this year that we had to move that required, splitting the graves up. I hope that we would take position pretty soon that
Really?
I say no news is good news, move on.
That's a topic of discussion for another meeting.
Well, I threw it in there while I had it.
Caught that.
I'm sorry, guys, but I grabbed these and I didn't realize there's multiple copies here. Ollie, you're gonna be up next, but I see you attached, proposal from Patriot Flags. And on the front, you have, another 2, 4, 5 people you must have gone to. Did they give you a proposal?
Yes.
We get-
I called them, I either called them or I just went on the internet, and if the internet gave me enough information, I didn't go any further. Because when I met with the distributor, Patriot Flag, they were either right at the same price as anyone else, but one very beneficial point is that when you get them, you get the whole thing. They install, set everything up for you, and comparing prices, installation varied between about $500 to $1,000 per pole. And I didn't dump that out. I went on to, I just asked the computer, how much it cost to install a flag, and it came up with this website that they said if it's professionally done, it could be up to $1,000. And if you do it yourself, you could spend up to $500. I don't know, I didn't get any details, but in addition, these guys, the pole is warranted for 25 years. No one even comes close to that. It also has a hinged pole where most places don't have a hinged pole, and that's one of the things I wanted to ask if you thought it was a good idea to have a hinged pole, even though they feel that probably 15, 20 years before you'd ever need to unhinge it unless you wanted to repaint it or something. But I figure at that point in time, if you didn't have a hinge, it weighs about between 90 and 100 pounds off the apparatus. So you get 3 good guys, and it's probably lower it pretty easily. But you'd have to bring in a crane, and even on a mild day, I guess there's enough flex in that pipe it can make you feel a little nervous up on the water.
I've seen them put in with much less than a crane, just a lull or a backhoe or something can put them in. My concern would be having a hinge point of some unsavory characters pulling the pins.
Once you really don't pull the pin, you get bolted on. I understand what you're saying. We've never had that happen in the cemeteries in some 40 years I've been here, but they're all hinged,
Are they?
the pipes are.
So, since they're already in the budget for this year, you're looking to buy 2 already.
We didn't put it in the budget yet. We hadn't come in back.
No.
Oh, you mean
he-
2017?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because he's got 3,100, so he'd be able to buy 2 poles on this year's existing budget.
Right, that'd be great. And I haven't exhausted another source too, so it might be even more. So the Memorial Day budget would be reduced by $2,000 because of this new information. Actually, more than 2,000 if you want me to have a, in-ground installation. Those poles are $250 more, so it's about $500 we save if you get hinge ones. That's what, on the page it shows you 3,000 versus,
Right, well, we had a budget, I believe, this year of $2,100 for a new flagpole.
31.
31 was for flagpole maintenance. The budget for a new flagpole was 21. I guess we had 1,000 in there, maybe for flag repairs or maintenance, but from last year's budget, that's what we had plugged in. So,
I didn't ask for $1,000, so I just, that's kind of where I set up I thought that was after some, analysis that was gonna cost us $3,100. That's why I came in with $3,100. I was kind of surprised are companies out there that would cost you $3,100 because, you can see number 5 and number 6, they're over $2,000 for the pole. 2,300 and 2,600 respectively. So if you add 500 to that, even that, only the bottom one would be 3,100.
Ollie, I'm just referring to the notes that we had from last year's budget. So within, and I say last year's budget, 2017, this year's budget. So is your plan then to purchase one this year and budgeting for one next year?
So you want me to return the money in the budget back to the town?
Return what money?
Well, it's not gonna cost us $3,100. I'm not gonna repair poles I'm gonna take down.
Well, if you're trying to buy 2 installed, you don't have enough money, correct?
I may have another source.
Well, we don't know that, so that's why I'm saying, what are we doing here?
Could I take it out of the cemetery budget?
That'd be a question for the
That's what I was,
trustees of the
Yeah.
cemetery committee, not the board of selectmen.
yeah.
Okay, I will get one pole, but if I find another source, you have a problem with getting 2 poles.
You're gonna get 2 for the price of 1?
It won't be for the price of one, it'll be double the price, but it won't, the town will pay for it.
So you, when you say another source, you have someone who may donate funds
Yeah.
to cover the additional cost of
Right.
the second pole,
Right,
the in-between.
right.
Awesome.
I have no issue, if you can find somebody that'll donate $3,100 to buy a flagpole, I'm fine with that.
It's not 3,100.
No.
So it's,
He's saying he wants to use the $3,100 in this year's budget to get 2 poles. Right now, to buy 2 poles installed, he's gonna be looking somewhere around $3,700, so he's gonna be short $600. What I'm wondering, Ollie, as another option, let's say, do you think you'd be able to get someone to install them? And just purchase them with, because you could buy 2, they just wouldn't be installed. Or,
You mean they can do it, no. I give you this as an example. Go down to the South Cemetery, and even though there's some repairs needed on the granite post fence on the right-hand side of the cemetery, look at that, and then look at the other side, close to the dam, how the posts were put in on the other side. And one was by professionals, and one was by good-hearted people who somewhat missed the mark. So,
okay,
you know, I'm telling you, I went online, and, in fact, I called, one of the companies, and they said, oh, we usually use the local landscaping companies. I'm picturing, when did a landscaper become qualified to set poles?
set flagpoles?
Yeah,
Ollie, in my experience, it's not rocket science. It really isn't. But,
I fixed many things that have been better than the factory made it.
well, I'd be glad to, if anybody has suggestions who could install them, I'll go talk to them.
Highway Department?
I'll ask them.
Could, just throw it out there, could Prime do it with their boom truck?
Who?
Prime Roofing?
I'm sorry, Prime?
Prime Roofing?
Prime roofing.
Prime
They got,
Roofing.
they got a boom truck, crane truck. I don't know if that's something they could or would do.
They do it. Are they done at the,
Gilly Sepulveda. Billy Zeppelin is.
Not, Bill Sutcliffe?
Yeah,
No, setting a pole, David, it's the same,
You guys are, I think, you guys are talking about making the base for the thing, not putting the
no,
pole.
no.
Oh, okay, I'm wrong.
No, we're talking about setting it in the sleeve.
The way these work is the pole comes with a sleeve. You
Yeah.
dig a hole, you set that sleeve in concrete, then you fill the sleeve,
Right, you
you
have
put the
two
pole in place, and you fill the angular space with sand. And that's what holds that pole in place. And that's why I'm saying it,
I understood.
Are you talking about setting a pole in there or making
what you
the
say?
base with the sleeve in it?
Concrete.
Maybe I missed something.
He said it.
the sleeve that comes with the pole,
Yeah.
you set in the ground. The outside of that sleeve, they pour concrete around. That holds that sleeve in place. Then they take the pole and put it inside that sleeve, and they fill that void with sand, because that allows them to plumb the pole
Okay.
perfectly. And I think it's something the DPW would have the manpower and the equipment to install, just it wouldn't be, you know, if you said, well, I'll have it out here next week, because right now they're busy, you know, getting the roads squared away, but it could be something that he could plan on doing, as long as we give him enough notice. And that would get it into this year's budget. And then I think, was last week, were you saying you needed 3? Poles, 5.
2 for the center, 2 for south, and 1 for the soldiers monument.
Okay. So maybe if we, could budget for 2 more next year, or?
That's what, I had revised the Memorial Day budget, and, that's why I said dropping it from 3,000 to 6,000, and then without having the hinge type of pole, that would be another $500, which is like 5,500.
Which did you pick here, Ollie?
For next year, I had before, it was 4,200 for 2 poles. Excuse me, 6,200 for 2 poles. And because of the numbers I thought, I could reduce it to, it's like 3,700. So we got 5,500 in poles. Want to give you copies?
No, I'm looking for what you handed out last week, which I have here.
That's the one at the total for 2,000. And that's why it came out with it, to make it all, and see if we can get some real prices. You find it, Dave?
Yeah, so for two 2018, so if you get 2 this year, you need 3 for next year. If you purchase 2 this year,
Yeah.
you'll need 3 for next year to get to your 5.
Okay.
So if we were to take your cost of 1,300 times 3, we could plug in 3,900 for the 3 poles for the 2018 budget instead of the 6,200.
That's with the DPW doing the installation.
Yeah. Do you agree, Ollie?
Okay. So 39 and, that's 5,700, 5,710?
It was
Plus
1,300 times 3
Oh,
is 3,900. So your revised budget for next year, instead of 8,000, would be 5,700.
right.
That okay? All right.
If the two suggested sources cannot do it, then
Oh, I know one of them can. I'll have the discussion with him.
And I was talking, two different things, Mr. Cotson's right, I was talking setting of the pole, not installing the base. That's why I mentioned primer. I wasn't thinking of setting the whole base setup, so,
Thank you.
yeah.
You know what I'm thinking now too, is we should, at least for next year, budget a little more, cause they are gonna have to get concrete in there and somebody's gonna buy that material, so. Say maybe add another $300.
Yeah, making even 6,000.
Yeah, yeah. All set with Ollie?
Yep.
All set, Ollie?
okay,
They just raised your, they raised your budget from 5,700 to 6,000.
Because somebody's gonna buy the concrete to back up the, pour around the cylinder
and that would be for 3 poles?
for 3 poles.
So concrete and sand and whatever other materials?
Those would be the two, and sand we have, so it'd just be a matter of getting the concrete here. Okay?
Very good.
Thank you.
Ollie.
Thanks, Alan.
Presentation as long as you put forth.
No,
Oh.
if you have questions, I'll answer. Other than that,
Is this all blank?
So, I gave
Yeah.
you on the
okay,
back,
so combining the
packet,
budget.
the actual.
Because we just combined the two this year.
So these are, this is new because the two positions are put together.
When I do the sheet on here, I'll combine the two.
Usually you don't say,
No.
these are new numbers. Difficult.
I've gotta create a document that shows me comparison previous years. That's what we have on the sheet that we've been doing last year and this year. So when I plug in this year's budget, the only way of doing that is gonna be putting this in and then combining the dollars from last year. Should be pretty much a reallocation. Cause I could always look back, where have we been versus where are we going? Even now, like on,
I'm just trying to picture how it's gonna go in the budget. The budget, you know, what the, I mean,
this is what we had from last
Yeah,
year. So
yeah.
now, I'm just gonna take these numbers and combine them and put in one. Just so we can say the budget for the tax collector town clerk in 2016 was
oh, okay,
X.
so you're gonna, like, use this one?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Snuck it in.
You did. Thanks.
I can't leave. Thought it was all set.
No, I just meant give me a minute.
Oh, I thought I had to go. Yeah, you're set.
Brian, lock that door.
It's not that easy.
Brian's the committee tonight?
Yes.
Well, I'm supposed to be the budget committee, but the selectmen are the ones who are working on it now.
Well, I was here late yesterday, and I didn't know you guys were saying, and I thought you didn't say anything.
Congratulations.
It's just-
Uh,
Really exciting. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I guess my first question is gonna be, as I'm going through here, how come we are a $10,000 increase over last year's budget?
Well, I put a salary increase for myself and my deputy. I don't have health insurance, so I could be able to afford some. Or I should get some through the town maybe. And I put a pay increase for my deputy. And I put $2,000 in my postage because the chief will no longer serve civil forfeitures, and those have to be sent out certified on the dog licensing.
And why is,
$2,000 this year.
is that, money collected back in fees or?
Yes. But I need the money in postage, I'm already over on postage right now.
Okay, just help me out here, Jessica. How is that money collected back in fees?
Civil forfeitures, when they go out, it's $25 plus, $5 for the postage fee. There's a mail fee on there, so you get like the certified mail back plus there's $25. That's a fine. That
Okay.
comes to the town.
Okay.
And there's money in there for the records management, which is in that back room.
I wanna just stay focused on the first line for now.
What does she currently make an hour, the deputy?
13.
You wanna jump it to 17? Is that what I'm reading?
She has 8 years' experience, and I'd like to keep her.
Uh,
Everybody keeps leaving.
How are we going, on, one of the other ones that came in recently, we said we were gonna discuss, salary adjustments separate. Are we gonna do that as a separate meeting? And do all of them? How do you wanna?
Yeah, that was on the treasury.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the conversation.
Who was with the treasurer, with,
Oh,
they had
yes,
bumped
you're
him
right.
up and it's,
Yeah. I did attempt to go on the NHMA site, David, I'll have you know I did attempt.
should've told me, it was right on here.
For some reason or another, I
Yeah.
couldn't get in. I had better luck with a skill saw than I do a computer, but anyway, Joanne was nice enough to punch in some info for me when I got here.
What'd you do that for?
And, I have numbers here that, deputy town clerks are making.
I just wanna know, are we gonna be addressing this now? Or are we gonna be addressing them all at one time? That's, cause last week we said we're gonna address it
We did.
separately, and now it's coming up again.
I think we should address it all at one time. So, not at this point.
Yeah. That okay with you, Jay?
I believe it's going to have to be if there's two of you that wanna do it that way. And
We're
I
trying
thought
to.
the reason we didn't do it, with the deputy treasurer was because we didn't have information to draw on to compare it with other towns.
Right, and I'll be honest with you, my understanding, we were gonna do this as a separate meeting, so I haven't done my
Okay,
analysis of it, and if we have a date certain of when we're going to address them, I think it would be, at least I'd be better prepared.
you're of that same opinion, Mr.
I like it.
Okay. I guess we'll address salaries at a different time.
Okay. So you agree?
No, but I'm in the minority, so it's, I'm fine with it, that's fine.
Okay. So continuing on, other than with salaries,
All right.
education and training.
I don't think there's a change in that.
Well, unless things are budgeted differently, I'm just trying to look here. 750 and 5, okay. So that matches. Registry of Deeds. Stayed the same. Computer services.
I have the one already for Interware, which you guys have a copy of, but I have nothing from Avatar yet, and I think we usually have a slight increase. So I don't think I put much extra in there.
Help me out, Jessica, why am I thinking that last year in this budget, and maybe it wasn't, that we bought 1 or 2 new computers?
Nope,
No? Okay.
and this is for software. I haven't had a computer. In this budget before.
Okay.
With the deputy side. And that should be all set. Another 2 years on mine, too.
Binding town reports. What is that?
Where they take however much books they can and combine it in a letter down book
Oh,
to preserve them, because you can
okay.
keep them forever.
And have we,
We haven't done any, because there's a lot of stuff stored downstairs that needs to come up here, and to preserve something that we're gonna store in an uncontrolled atmosphere didn't make sense. So we used that money for that back room. So that we can get organized back there and
well, are you going to bind the town reports in 2018? If not,
if I can get that room situated, yes.
okay, where
That'll
in,
give us 2 books.
is that under records management? Where's that room situation?
Yeah, that's the record management.
Which we did not have in the past, so that's a new line item?
Right.
And will that take care of whatever it was you needed?
I hope so. Mark and I discussed, we were gonna have him build some shelves, but then he measured the red shelving that we have currently in the building, and we made out, I know that when they came in to do the record management, they made out their own floor plan, we did our own floor plan that will work by using those red shelving. We don't have to get any new shelving, so that's saves some money right there.
What do you mean by red shelving?
It's red metal shelving.
Oh, that we have.
I currently have some in the back room, there's a bunch of it downstairs, so we'll be able to make the floor plan work.
That room gonna be climate controlled at this point, is that what
That
you're?
one, it's always freezing, yep, climate controlled.
No, but isn't that the concern with
That
records?
room is always the same temperature,
That's all block.
yeah, it's all concrete, so it's always the same temperature in there. If you have a hot flash, you can go back there and do that.
No, my question is, aren't you concerned with the climate? I mean, the books, if they get,
Right, well,
Hot or
downstairs, I have a
cold
whole
or-
nother room downstairs, which is, a lot of moisture and.
yeah,
So those books are starting to deteriorate.
so it's
Up here-
better to freeze them than,
Mm-hmm.
There's no change in temperature. It
Okay.
doesn't get humid.
alright, that's the
And-
question.
Yeah, so, and the other thing is, my goal is to have just this back room. Their goal was to have me use that as storage down there, get another door put on, have a lock assessed with it, so that everything's locked up, because it was basically gonna be a supply room. And I think that Mark and I figured it out where I can just have that one room.
Good.
And it'll make more sense once we can start getting stuff out of there and move around and put it together.
I see you're budgeting under travel, the same thing as last year, but we didn't use it under tax collector this year.
That's because I don't go until next week.
Thank you. It looks like you increased supplies.
Well, last year when we did supplies, we cut it back. And I forgot that when I have to order new, cartridges for the state printers, they're $100 a piece, if not higher. So I put that back in there, cause I just ordered some and I'm. Nice fly line. I think we just ordered refurbished ones, cause they were 99¢.
All right, if I'm looking at
Still guaranteed for like 42,000.
postage, you've gone from 4745 to 7200.
That's for civil forfeitures.
How is that calculated, just roughly?
I just based it on, there would have been $2,000 this year, for civil forfeiture fees, because of the certified mailing, 6 something. And then I don't know, is there gonna be a postage increase?
You sent out 2,000, you're saying?
180.
You sent out 180
And
at,
about $2,000 in postage,
180 at $6 a piece,
$6.50.
roughly. Help me out, that's dogs, dog licenses, whatever.
Yeah, we're over $1,000 in this town now.
That you know.
Yes, and every time somebody goes to the vet and they get their rabies shot done, they send us notification, so. We have about 40 something new ones.
Am I missing something? That's about $1,200. You get about the same?
I get $1,260 roughly. I went with $7,
Oh,
because she's at $6.59, so, yeah.
I'm just saying, if I came out just under 1,200, but if we
Yeah,
added
yeah.
1,200 to last year's budget, we're about 5,945 versus 7,200.
Oh, 'cause I still have,
Instead of
As
3
far as-
months.
as far as,
Maybe not that- that much.
mailings for
That just happens, I
motor
think, in
vehicle,
April,
I still
whatever they
have the
would do.
next few months to get through, and I don't have the postage left. Cause I'm already in the negative. So I calculated to, I think it was February, on what I would need for postage and added that in. Not till March.
So it's on both the tax collector and the town clerk that you're at or over budget now.
Correct.
So civil forfeitures, I'm assuming, comes under tax collector?
That's clerk.
Tax or town
That's under clerk,
clerk?
the dogs, yes.
So then, what's driving the tax postage?
All the late notices that need to be sent out, if people don't pay their taxes.
Do you expect more going out? How often do you send them out? That's,
30 days after taxes are overdue.
okay, so I'm assuming since everybody gets their tax bill at the same time, everybody's been noticed. You won't be doing any more between now and the end of the year.
No. No. I think in tax.
Tax, you're just under your budget right now.
Right. I should be okay, and I don't think I've already prepaid postage for the tax bills that are going out. So there shouldn't be much of a difference as far as postage that comes back from the mailing company.
comments on that?
No.
My math is saying we're still 1,000 over. I don't know if you ran. If I'm using your figures, are we still an extra 1,000 in that number? 900, I should say. Because on the tax will be pretty much where we are now.
Right, I still.
On the town clerk, I just used what you spent to date and carried it through the end of the year. In other words, if you were $250 a month times 12 months and plug that in.
But I'm already in the negative and I still have to spend money to get through the end of the year on clerk. So I calculated that in, some,
You're in the negative by $9, so
it's more than that.
okay, I'm going off the
Yeah, I just said
report
that
as,
wrong.
It's not gone through yet.
okay.
That's as close as we can come to.
But your mailing, is it something out of the ordinary?
$200 to $300 a month
For the motor vehicle,
for the motor vehicle registrations.
Right, so
it's like 6.
I plugged in $215 per month. So I added another $430 to $2145.
Alright, so when I do my budget, do I, because I calculate the postage, which is one of the things that I need to do. Do I carry it until the next budget starts or no?
No,
Oh, well, that's what I did.
well, I'm only carrying till December, because
Oh,
come January, it's a new
that's-
budget.
Okay. So I carried it until March. So I did a little bit longer and I probably did higher than,
There's a difference.
so there's the difference. So would you say it was a difference of?
I would propose that we plug in $6,400. I'm at $6,384.
Okay.
Guys agree?
6,400?
Yeah.
Yep.
You get the notes for how that came? Just out of curiosity, how do you hit the dog tag so accurately?
So I've already paid the bill. They've already billed us, because you can order them in advance,
Okay.
so.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
Brian?
No. Well, I write on the raise issue, but that's, we're discussing different times.
Yeah.
Are we meeting with anybody else?
No, I don't believe so.
No.
Before you leave, we need to say, think about it, maybe call.
So did you not get something from Avatar, you say?
Yeah, we don't send out our latest budget season, so that we can almost expect or anything. They just send us at the end of the year.
Any other questions?
I don't, I just don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Jessica.
And when you do the salaries, is that a meeting I attend or?
Probably not.
It's so much harder to say no when you're in the room. That's
Well,
all.
you know what, yeah,
Talk about it behind my back?
I think
Yeah,
if,
yeah.
I think if somebody comes in and hoops and hollers and somebody else isn't coming at all, who's gonna get the raise?
I'll keep in touch with Joey then.
There you go.
Am I all set?
Right to the source, huh?
That's right.
So,
You're all,
Yes.
you're all set.
I'm all set.
I believe you were aware when we discussed salaries, am I not correct?
What was that, I'm sorry?
I believe she'll be made aware when we discuss salaries. Or how are you gonna do that? Do it in a non-public?
I'm trying to fight my battle, you know?
I thought I pulled everything I needed out of the red folder. I believe that's something that can go to non-public, but unless I look at that, I'd have to know about it. I would think that we would and just address them all at that point in time.
Okay, give me a call, please, so you get some, set something up.
thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
have a good evening.
Next on the agenda, I'd like to,
I'm good.
Well, yes, thank you, have a good
We'll
evening.
be in touch, you as well. Thank you, see you guys
You're
tomorrow.
welcome.
She thinks you're going somewhere.
get a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Here, read 'em.
You were here.
For the whole thing.
You take a little nap?
Don't ask.
Wait till you get here.
So did we get a second on that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we have auditor municipal bonds to do, outside lighting, legal, and health. On the top of my pile, I've got lighting, but if somebody else wants to go to
That's the way they are in my pile.
Okay.
Okay, you wanna go through 'em?
lighting first.
Sure. Why the big
Budget period
difference here?
expenditures, current year expenditures. I'm assuming we have another bill yet to pay for
Okay,
this year on the blinkers.
forward it, yeah.
It's probably gonna be the same thing on the,
Streetlights.
let's see, 741. Street lighting, budgeted 23,3. 15,640. I'm assuming we pay this,
So if you see the, like the blinkers on the last page, it says through September, so this doesn't reflect our building back at December. And then the other one, 8/1 to 9, 8/1 to 9.
so that's gonna be through
So this,
August.
this is just, yeah, so September, October, November, December.
We're just using 15,640 divided by 8. And that's how we got to 23,460 if we use the 15,640 figure,
That would be just a little over.
yeah. Joanne, do we, oh, let me get here. Do we have a,
I don't know, but it's like right to $990 just about, so.
do we have one of these sheets for lighting? Or do we just have the,
Are these sheets?
yeah,
Yeah, we do.
okay. I'm gonna have to ask you to do me a book with the tabs like we used to have.
Does anybody else want to look at the tabs? Like each department and
Makes it easy to find this.
I can show you mine if you want.
Yeah, no, yeah, that'd be great if you have one.
Okay.
Make life easier. It sounds like the lighting numbers are close to on par, correct?
I'm thinking that's gonna go up a little.
Yeah, I would propose that, the street lighting number for this year be 23,500.
Okay, let me just find my sheet first.
And look at mine.
No, if you gave it to me, it's here.
That's over there.
These were all of the legal health.
That covers
Here, let me just.
all of
No, that's
Oh,
landfill.
174 down Main Street, and then any spot that's.
Most, I won't say every street light in North Church, most every street light, cause some people were given the option of paying for the light themselves, or the town would take it out. We did this lighting reduction thing, I'm trying to think now, had to be 15 years ago. So there are some lights in town that we don't pay for.
Because that was just always been kind of my
Can you
question
name
is-
those?
One on Main Street, I believe Thayer pays for his own street light.
Because one came before the board in which they were paying for it, and they asked, well, why are we paying for it, and the town took it over.
No, that was a decision made by, let me think what year, I think that might have been, 4 or 5, or 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's just one of those questions always been there, is like, how did we decide, 'cause, I mean, my parents live rural Wisconsin, and they've got a street light, and it's actually powered by my dad's property, he turns it off at night.
He's paying for it.
He pays it.
When he gets home for the night, he shuts the light
Yeah, he
off.
goes, when it's time for bed, he shuts it off, he goes, no, that's it.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
so I'd propose 23.5 on the street lighting budget and 1,100 on the, blinker.
3, 5. And what did the blinkers work out to?
roughly, we're just
Well,
over
they
1,000, right?
They're gonna come in at just about 990 if we take the number out through the rest of the year.
So we're gonna use 1,000 like we
Leave it at
have, or you
1,000?
wanna?
I'd say stick with 1,000.
Okay, I'm good with that.
We're at the 23.5, the same for number.
I'll make a motion to set the outside lighting budget, at 24.5.
Second.
Do we need to be voting on these if we're developing the budget?
Excuse me?
I don't know that we have to vote on these if we're
Okay.
developing the budget.
Take back my second.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
Health,
Yeah, I haven't got my check from the last inspection that I've done yet.
it's okay.
Well, we just hired somebody to fill the position, so I think we ought to give her some sort of budget.
That's what I'm looking at here, and
Yeah,
16 to 17 it went up, but I think we've already told her what her salary was gonna be.
I believe we did, yes.
FICA, Medi,
Yeah, well,
education. Dues. Okay, we just leave it as we had it. 3,076.
I guess my concern would be that there wasn't really anybody in that position, for how many months now? So if somebody's there, would they'd be more apt to, well, I guess the education line's not all that more money. I just thinking it's gonna be a more active accountant with somebody in the position. Should we?
Well, look, back in 2016, the budget was almost, I won't say half, say a third, yeah. I think we should just
Yeah, no.
let it stay and see how it runs.
Yeah, you wanna round it off to an even number? Simple math,
I don't know, 6 is a round number at the end.
3076?
Yeah. Auditor. Joanne, refresh my memory, are we at the third year with them? So it'll be in 19 that we'd have to get proposals again? Or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
I'm,
Yeah.
currently though, this is their proposal that we have in place for the year 2018.
Yes. 15,250.
How'd we get here? Just because it's,
And they're also saying for 2019, they guarantee that price, 2019.
When did we start with them? 16? No, 15?
15, 16, right down.
17.
20. 15,250.
Yep. Municipal landfill.
Municipal landfill?
This is something I would just, I know last year I brought it up to the board, and where we were trying to get the police station passed, we were trying to use some of the fund balance for that. We haven't done anything regarding the police station for next year. And I'd always said if we're not using it for the police station, I think we should take fund balance and pay this off.
So have you given up on proposing anything for the police station this year then? Is that,
I'm not giving up on anything, but there doesn't seem to be the drive behind getting this marketed, and if it's just another warrant article with no interaction with the public, I think it's really an uphill battle.
see, I'd like to see something happen in that respect, as far as some sort of education to the public of what we need to do in that respect, whether it's a Tuesday night, I'll run numbers by people, or however it's gotta be done, but I don't think we can continue to not do something, you know? To just not do something, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice, because,
I agree 100% with you. I'm all in favor of the police station. But unless we can get people behind it,
well, I'm behind it, and I'll do my best to, maybe on a Tuesday night, just tell people where the numbers are, because I think that might have been part of the confusion, that people thought we were spending $1,800,000 just on a building, not realizing all the other costs associated with the project.
Yep.
Maybe if we put the plan up here every Tuesday night and leave it on the corner and let people see what it is. I don't know, but I think, I'd like to make some sort of effort. I was gonna call, Mr. MacArthur and see if I could get all that information from him, as far as numbers, and I believe he's got the photos and everything else, that sort of stuff.
I have all that.
Oh, you have all that? I don't need to call Mr. MacArthur then. So, can I get that stuff?
Yes, I mean, photos.
Just, yeah, for here, I
Yeah,
it wouldn't
we
leave the
have that
building.
here.
Excuse me?
It's behind the door.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Numbers,
Mm-hmm,
I would say we need to look at those.
okay.
Okay.
And I'd like to, I know you had mentioned, you had talked to the bond bank, and there's no guarantee of what we might get for a rate. But if it's something we can at least mention to the
We did.
general public,
Yeah.
again, I mean,
We have those.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, I just wanna reintroduce this stuff, and hopefully something better will come of it this year, 'cause it's been, what, 30 years we've been needing a police station, so, where have we been for police stations? We've been in a shoebox down on Main Street, and we went from that out of the closet down at the ABC building, so.
Oh, you missed the first shoebox though, because when I moved here 30 years ago.
Yeah, the one at the old fire brigade
Yes.
building, yeah, right,
Yeah.
so, it's been a forever issue, and if we don't address it and do something with it, it's just gonna be more costly the next time we address it, so it's. Do I wanna raise my own taxes? No, but some things you have to do. So, that's my thought on
Okay,
that,
so
so,
we can do that. We'll need to probably update numbers,
yeah,
and then,
try to,
then this would still be a funded thing. Just this one here, because of the fee I see that they charge us for doing this,
yeah,
it's ridiculous. And I'm saying if we had that money to pay it off, I think that would be a thing to do, but
well,
since.
we got a rough number, $280,000 payoff, thereabouts,
No,
rough numbers, yeah.
Why was I? Oh,
Those are my numbers, I say rough,
yeah,
so
yeah.
give or take 50.
Can you use money from the general fund for that,
Fund balance,
fund balance?
sure. Why wouldn't you?
I know, I thought it was only certain things you could use it for.
The selectmen only have the authority to use it for adjusting taxes.
Pay down debt.
Voters can vote whatever they want for.
As a-
It'd be a warrant article, oh, yes, yeah, definitely a warrant article. Not that,
So keep these as,
yeah, we can't change it, this is
No.
what we are.
yeah.
Same thing with the landfill closure. Legal.
Do I know what we got? Two currently that are pestering us?
This can't be right. Something's not right here, Joanne.
What?
2017 actual?
Hmm?
I thought with one of them, we were over 20 already.
Yeah, but I think some of it was from last year. So it would be in the actual for last year. You mean, oh,
Yeah. It was in 16's budget?
I think so. I think some of it is.
Okay.
Well, do you see anything, David, planning board wise?
There's actually four cases right now. Yeah.
One that's not resolved, or I dotted and T crossed. The most recent one,
Which one did you ever see?
which is shot dollar since we share that.
Yes.
Okay, you know,
The other two, yeah, well,
but you know the fair point. And,
yeah. I will say this, planning board has been very prudent in trying not to go to legal counsel.
Mhm.
A lot of times it's a matter of going to municipal association or just foregoing it. We cut it last year, I don't know that I'd cut planning again. ZBA. I'm thinking there's only been one that I'm aware of ever in recent time.
Well, I'm comfortable at 20.
You're talking for a total?
Excuse me?
You talking for a total or just
Correct.
for selectmen?
Just total.
I gotta say, I probably wouldn't wanna cut it down that much. I mean, one
Well, that was last year's budget.
was
Oh, I'm
25.5.
sorry. No, I'm looking at the wrong number. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No, I would leave it at last year's
Yeah,
number. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I didn't look at the,
Yeah,
my mistake.
that's okay.
Yeah. I just looked at the selectmen line. Yeah.
I think you're done.
Well, I got one more here, but I guess we can,
Oh, which one?
the one, Board of Selectmen.
That's just the budget, the overall budget.
Oh, this is everybody, okay, all right.
Yeah, we're gonna do everybody's
All right.
salaries at once, right, Dave?
Yeah, yes. I
No,
was just
he
looking
didn't-
at
He didn't catch that.
everybody's salaries at once.
Yeah. Well, you said with selectmen, then I said, we're gonna do everybody's salaries at once. Anyway.
What
You're
do
all
we
night,
have for
try the
next
roast
week?
beef.
Hmm?
I'm here all night, try the roast beef.
Pool and Parks and Rec and assessors and conservation.
We have coming in on the, 24th. I will not be here.
I look at my list.
Okay. I didn't know if you had any of the, police or highway or fire scheduled for that.
It might be general government buildings.
We'll take care of it, don't worry about it, Jay.
Excuse me?
We'll take care of it, don't worry about it.
I think it's general government buildings, everything else. Oh, I can tell you when I go back.
That's fine.
These are the proposed heating oil. So these are all the ones that Mark called. And that page is for, gas testing. That's what we used last year, and something else, but.
We wanna wait for the fourth one on this list to get back to us, or?
Which is what fourth one are you referring to?
Working on prices, what do you wanna?
No, he's working on propane. Our majority of the fuel is oil.
Yeah, no,
Propane.
so, they're not gonna give us an oil price, is that what we can,
Who's not going to?
the fourth one down again?
They're just giving us market rates, whatever the market is at that time.
Okay.
I would say we should go with number 3.
Looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we had this year, too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's your previous supplier
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, this year.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they're,
That's,
if that's a price and it's a locked price,
yeah.
I would agree.
yeah.
Send them out a purchase order or however else we do that.
We have an agreement to sign. And a purchase order.
I thought we've had that discussion.
Oh, I never had, okay.
Any other business?
Yes.
On the next page,
About the gas?
yeah.
We need to give the department heads to plug in.
Yeah.
And what did we use these actual numbers last year?
I don't know if we used the actual
Yeah.
ones, but I think we based it
Uh,
on this.
And considering these numbers here include tax, which we get exempt. So I suppose we use these numbers, we'll have the department heads use this for the price of fuel.
Yep.
You good with that, Jay?
I missed it, I'm sorry.
On the second page,
Yep,
this is what we used last year for guidance to the department heads that need to budget for vehicle fuel.
yep, makes perfect sense.
You good with that?
I am.
You'll send out a memo to the,
So the 235 and then the diesel, right?
yeah.
All right, yep.
Look at the heating oil.
Excuse me?
Yeah, heating oil. 258 projected.
I apologize for asking you guys to repeat yourself, but I don't hear as well as I used to, so.
Any other?
Yes, I had, a resident approach me up to the landfill on Saturday asking if we could put a stop sign on, Tenny Road, coming from Temple, Harmony Hills being on your left as you come into that intersection with, Tricknick Road. If we could put a stop sign at Tenny and Tricknick intersection.
I would not be in favor of that.
You would not?
No.
Why?
Old Tenny Road's a scenic road.
Yep.
And putting more traffic signs and whatnot is not what I wanna see there. That's the one road when I have company that's not from here and I say, you wanna go see the epitome of a country road?
It definitely
go for a
is.
walk.
It absolutely
It is,
is.
and
I
it's
can't argue that
beautiful.
point. I can't.
I mean, if
What,
somebody's,
what can we do to calm traffic? Cause they're concerned about that intersection.
I think if you were to look at the daily traffic,
Yeah. No, but I
It's
think
gotta
you'd be surprised at the daily traffic
Yeah.
count, cause a lot of people come off of Temple Road to get down to the ABC or down to the newest industrial building or
do
even
you
into
think
Harmony
maybe a
Hills.
discussion with Tim on having a cruiser there, you know? 15, 20 minutes during a peak time and,
I think, yeah, because I mean, I think some of those peak times are odd, very odd times too. Because it's probably very similar times. Some of those are when I'm headed to work in the morning and they're coming from the ABC building and I'm not sure whether they're gonna stop even at a stop sign on 124.
6:30-ish.
Yeah, between 6:30-ish, yeah.
I told this resident I would bring it to the attention of the board,
Yeah.
so.
And that leads me to another question. Can anybody tell me every scenic road in town that's classified as a scenic road?
Scenic Road, there's the back road, back part of Timber Top is Scenic Road.
The one going to Ringe?
Yes, that's a Scenic Road. I believe Courier is a Scenic Road.
Yeah.
County or Country
Or
Club
Country
is
Road?
a Scenic Road.
Yeah.
Tenny, is Tenny classified as scenic?
I think it is,
I
but I'm
can't
not.
guarantee it is.
Yeah.
Um,
If not, it should be.
that's all I got for you.
Okay.
Never mind.
Because that one came up today and I was not aware of that one.
Which one's that?
The other end of Timber Top.
Yes.
I always thought, shame on me, I thought by then you're already in Ringe.
No, the Ringe line is, just beyond, there's a culvert out there in the swamp, just beyond that on the left-hand side.
That's why I think I'd like to
I plowed that route
read
for 5
this,
years.
what you can and cannot do on a scenic road, because somebody told me how narrow that area is. I'm saying, well, why don't they just cut it out? And I spoke to Peter about it, and he says, you know, that's a scenic road. I'm like, come on. I said, I guess I gotta find out which other ones are scenic.
Yeah,
The others I was aware of, but that one there, I
you
didn't
know,
know. Any others you're aware of?
But I don't think Old Penny is.
It's not? So what do we do?
yeah, that's why I'm not sure, but, it should be, we could,
I'll get the list.
yeah, could we designate, how do you designate it?
Draft the warrant article?
That's how you do it?
That's what you just said, by warrant article.
So maybe we should for Old Tenny?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really, I believe you're right.
I mean, that's a
Probably indoor
beautiful
folks
road.
fits.
You know,
It is.
Yeah, probably one of the better ones.
The other thing that we should be keeping in the back of our minds is what we want to do for, road paving projects next year.
What do we,
I have things in my mind.
What do you got on your mind? What do you got for roads? I can tell you what I'm thinking. We've done all the majors, I would guess. What,
Your road's a collector road that hasn't been done. Greenbrier was another.
yeah, that Greenbrier's a little,
It's a long road.
Greenbrier?
Isn't there a 5-year plan?
That's what I'm just opening up. It's not a 5-year plan. What it is, it's a list of all of our roads, and I've been crossing them off as we.
Yeah, in my head is, we've got a lot done, which is great. I
Yeah.
appreciate that the taxpayers have been willing to foot a $600,000 price tag every year to get them done.
The other thing to, let me just call it up here.
So there's Appleton, Greenbrier, Beechwood,
I'm not as a collector, but at some time we gotta start doing
right, the little
the other
ones,
roads.
sure.
One that I went down a while
Mountain
ago
View,
was, that one there, I kept getting requested, but it wasn't high on that list, was, Malthouse was the other one there.
actually, Malthouse is in serious disrepair. It
Yeah.
should probably, if it's not toward the top of the list, it should, because it's even hard to plow that road.
Okay,
Oh, there's Finn Hill as well, that little spur off of Ashlawn Farm.
blue roads, roads that should be a priority were. I don't know why this is Beechwood. Going is done, so that can go to green. Some of these, I don't know who did the Carolina, which is now Maplewood, is not even a paved road.
Somebody wants it paved.
Somebody's got it listed as asphalt, but it's not.
No.
Page Hill Road, we're done now. He's got Beanie Road, which is not a priority.
Is it Mimi Road? It's a dirt road.
But they've got a tag on here as asphalt. This is that road inventory with all of our roads, how many miles, et cetera.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I wonder where you're getting your information.
yeah. Gibbs Road's not paved. Mackey Road, I would have that as a low priority.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna do Appleton, it's,
For
you're
one
there.
house.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, it becomes a plowing issue. You either have to turn it back to dirt. Because,
Yeah, I would just leave it as it is. Porter Hill, didn't they pave that?
yeah, it's starting to break up though. Was that road ever ground, or was it just an overlay?
I'm asking the question whether it was
Yeah.
ever paved, so I don't.
Yeah, no, it was paved. Within the
Yeah.
last, 10 years it's been paved.
Okay, let me just go down some of these roads.
Yeah, they used to be in National Road.
Their road is done, Page Hill's done. I don't know how Mountain View got on here, but I suspect I know.
Got a pretty good idea.
Timber Top, Mason. Yeah,
See, Mason Road was overlaid 3 years ago without being pulverized or reshaped.
I didn't even
And
know.
unfortunately, it was a
Yeah.
waste of $90,000.
It came right up.
There's no reason to overlay anything.
We had Greenville Road in 2019, so we're getting that done now in 17. Academy Road, it's
Those
already
were
been
done,
done.
yeah.
Temple Road is done, that was 2021, so we've,
I need to revise it.
that's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see,
Well, there are 50,
Poor Farm, we're done.
54 homes, I think, on Appleton Road. Yeah, if you consider Appleton gives
Yeah,
Ken, shit, drawing a blank.
Which should all be paid.
Gibbs and Ken should be paid because the residents of those two roads actually paid a little extra in their
Yep.
tax bill, expecting their road to be paved. and
How much did
it
they
never done.
pay?
They didn't, none
A
of them.
little extra. It was
Yeah.
a separate tax bill.
But for years or
betterment.
for
No, it
once
was
or
a one-time.
a one time?
But
Because
that was kind of
what's been
how
going
much-
through my mind is that we should get what I would call a major road.
Right.
Mackey Road, I wouldn't have considered a major road, but a road that has houses on it.
Mhm.
And then before doing small roads such as Laurel or something, do we start doing Gibbs, Ken, not Thayer,
Stone Ridge
Timber
needs to
Top
be done.
the whole way.
Stone Ridge should be on that list, cause that's another road that's falling apart. That's off of Thayer,
Yeah,
Green
yeah.
Farm. There's several houses out that way. That should be, on the list, short list, I would think.
What would you do, a Stone Ridge before you're doing, a Ken or Gibbs?
Yes,
See, I don't think you've got,
well, it's paved road
houses
now,
count. Yeah,
so why would you not make it a better paved road before you pave a road that's dirt and has been dirt for 20 years,
this is
30 years?
my rationale on it is, it's easier for us to maintain a paved road than it is a gravel road.
Absolutely, it's cheaper,
So,
yes.
if we can get the ones that are gravel, that are high maintenance,
Mhm.
get those paved, and then fall back onto the smaller paved roads that need to be reconstructed.
But when a paved road gets to a certain point of disrepair and you're out there patching it more often than you should be, or you're tearing it up because you've got a wing on and now you've ruined the paved road to the point of, what's worse, the dirt road or the paved road? So, I'm of the opinion,
We're not pulling up $1 million bond.
no, I'm not there at all. I would think we just go after the worst of our paved roads, to be honest.
I'm just clicking off on a lot of these that we already have done.
I guess the question is, do we wanna stay at the $600,000 mark as a goal to,
I think we should, because especially this year, we were blessed with getting the extra highway block grant.
Right.
We got a lot of roads done.
absolutely, to get Page Hill done top to bottom?
Yep.
That was a feat in itself.
Greenville and Temple, that's,
Greenville's just based, I like it when they're done, like Thayer's complete, Page Hill's complete,
but Greenville will be done, Temple will be done,
correct, yeah,
end to end,
base and top, yeah.
base and top, and then on Greenville, we'll just have the top to
As far as the-
complete.
Yeah, if we can get any top on it with what we got for monies, so be it.
I think what we were figuring
Gonna get
was
to
getting
Greenville.
the finish up to,
Temple,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. Happy with that.
Temple Road, so that's done. Old Wilton Road. I
It
don't
was
think the
chip sealed
road's-
last year or 2
yeah.
years ago,
That was
it's,
not that bad.
For some reason it's on here.
not in perfect
blue as a
shape, but
priority,
it'll hold up,
Made it through all that time as a bypass.
right.
Going Road is done.
Yeah, most everything out that way is done. What about, well, you wouldn't do anything with Taylor until you fix the culvert, right?
Right, yeah.
Wheeler?
Wheeler's done.
Wheeler's
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
years
it's done,
ago.
yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
As we're over at Taylor, Benny Hill, there's sections of that are,
I think on Binney Hill there's one section that should have been
it should have been.
ground and,
From, the double culverts, the Lettman Farm up to, where we, Lower Pratt Pond Road.
oh no.
Yeah, that's pretty bad for you. That's the worst part of that road. Well, there's a section by
You're
the
on Core
cemetery.
Farm at that point,
No,
right?
that's
On Binney
Turn-
Hill.
Yeah, Benny Hill, it's Benny Hill to,
I'm thinking
Yeah.
if you're heading up Binney Hill, it would be after the cemetery. There's a section there that is just alligated.
there is, yeah,
It's
there's,
probably, I don't know, 50, 60 feet, and it's just that one section.
Well, no, then if you go up beyond that, by the Lettman farm,
Yeah.
that section in there, Kuzistos farm, that's terrible as well.
I'll take a ride by there.
Yeah, take a ride up through there, just before, Emerson Hill, that whole
Yeah.
section in there.
That's one, is that even on here? Although that's not paved either, but, just continuing down here, middle part's not us. River Road is done, Academy, Old Country Road, Ashby Road.
Lower Ashby should be looked at least it should be overlaid, there's no top coat on that
Okay,
road.
but Ashby Road we're done.
Yeah, but I wouldn't, Lower Ashby Road, I don't think, I can't in good conscience say it's done, there was never a top coat.
Those are
put
two
on.
different roads though. Ashby Road is done.
Okay, yep, you're correct, that was done eons ago.
New pavement, I don't know what that is, Lock Road,
Done.
that's done, yeah. River Road, we're done.
Lower River's done, Joy's done. Mill Street's done.
Peterborough, Old Fulton, Fulton Highway, Town Line. Any Hill. Cedar Ridge,
Yeah, that's in pretty decent shape.
yeah.
I'd like to see Stoll paved to Cedar Ridge personally,
Well,
but.
that was the other one that we talked about. Fox Farm is done.
Mhm.
How come Skinny Cat Road is listed as done? That's, we didn't do anything with that.
It's a driveway.
Yeah. So, Stowe Road is listed as done, that's.
So are you thinking, Appleton, Greenbrier, is that what your
As a
next year
stop.
start, yeah?
Uh,
I'd like to see us, finish them the same season we start them.
well, if you wanna make a little donation to the town, we really appreciate that, but
I
we're
make
trying
a-
to maximize our
I
dollar.
make a little donation every year. Actually, quarterly. Yeah, but what's the benefit behind, just binding and not binding in top coat?
There is no benefit, other than we have X amount of dollars
Correct, yeah,
and we're trying to maximize it.
okay.
So there's no detriment to doing binder.
No, but I would rather see us do, if we do less and do it 100%, than do more.
More in binder. I'd rather drive on a road with binder than a road with potholes.
Well, I'll give you that, but I'd like to see a road done complete, and then it's done, you don't.
But
you
we
don't go
haven't
back.
done a road where we're only gonna do binder here because we wanna go do binder somewhere else. We haven't done that. Page Hill, the thing was start to finish. When the Fair Road last year, we had the money for binder, we said, well, next year we'll do the top. So it was Page Hill and Fair with the top. When we saw where the numbers came in, we said, oh, let's grab Greenville Road. When the highway block grant came in, round 2, let's grab the balance of Temple Road. I think we're doing well.
I didn't say we weren't, but I just like to see the road completed. You know, you don't scrape
Let
one
me ask you
side
a
of your house.
question.
Yeah,
Would you be, as an analogy, saying rather than doing the rest of Temple Road, leave it the way it is and put the top on Greenville Road? I didn't think so. And speaking of which, I asked Peter today to look at that hill,
Yeah, you can take it down,
yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
but then what do you do with the driveways?
They have a little different grade. I'm not saying take it down 5 feet, but, you know, if we, like we did years ago,
Page Hill.
Page Hill, yeah, you know, they took off maybe a foot, and it makes a difference when you,
Well, blind spots are terrible.
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
over that.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I'd like to keep the neighbors' driveways in mind, do that stuff.
yeah. You guys can think of, what you'd like to plan for. We good?
Good.
You asked last week about the Old Town garage.
Yeah.
There's no electricity in there. And the hazmat.
Meaning that there's no,
The selectmen asked to have it turned off, so it was turned off.
okay.
The hazmat trailer's in there and the command trailer is going in there. Jim's command trailer, Jim Hicks.
The big white trailer goes in, yeah. See, that's why I asked,
It's going in there, where is it now?
I think it's out here, isn't it?
is, the way it used to work is the tanker and the command trailer were out behind the green center. They both in there? No, the tanker goes in there in the winter, so they can still get a cruiser in there. And the command trailer went down to the old highway garage. In the summertime, the command trailer was out back here alongside one of the buildings. That's the way it used to be.
Is there no reason why it can't fit inside the building?
Down back, it'd be in the way of getting equipment in there. You figure everything that's parked in there, the backhoe's in there, the roller's in there, the grader's in there, there's a front end loader in there. You'd put it in and you'd be in your own way.
I don't know why, but I'm thinking if you came in that back door and parked trailers and whatnot up against the right-hand wall, that still give them that whole alley all the way
Now,
down?
all the plows are kept, or they were, I don't know if they're still doing it that way, they're on the left-hand side if you
Yeah.
drive in there, they're all lined up. And you got, the patch pile usually comes out 10 feet into the middle of that alleyway. The coal patch, they dump the inside, that's kept inside. Or
That
was.
I've never seen.
No?
No.
I'll take it down there and show you. And then you get the little apparatus in there, you got that, sidewalk plow, you got a power broom that's in there, the forklift is in there. And then in the summer, the plow heads come off the trucks and are put on up against one wall. So, I don't think you could squeeze it in there and still be able to use the building the way you can use it now.
That's a big building, I'm like,
Well, you got that little tool room that sticks out that the school built, that maybe if you tore that off, you might be able to sneak a trailer in there, but I don't think so. That's where all the mortars kept along that one wall, brick, catch basins.
that stuff. Catch basins can be outside, brick and mortar, brick can be out there, mortar.
by-
Saying, can we efficiently, you know, store things?
Oh, I know where you're going.
It just
From
looks
what
like
I've
it's
seen.
huge.
Hmm?
It looks huge.
It is, it's a big building, but you figure everything that's put in there too, you know, there's a lot of equipment in there. So Appleton is on the top of the list to be paved next
No,
year?
no,
Can I,
No,
can I safely tell the people that live on Appleton Road that?
no.
Alphabetically.
Alphabetically, yeah, it should have been done years ago.
Only going up to Kent Street though.
That's good with me. That's fine. You gonna overlay that section, or you just gonna bind it?
Shim it.
That's been done. We putting you to sleep?
Are we still on, is it still public meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Then I have no comment.
Motion to adjourn,
Second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.